Hello toy lovers, I'm D21Beast and welcome to what I hope is the first in a long run of toy reviews for my YouTube channel. I've been watching a lot of reviews over the last several years really, everyone from MatrixPrime to ShartimusPrime to PixelDan to Sean Long to Glenn Webb. I've enjoyed them all and I decided why not go ahead and give this a shot for myself. So let's get it started here. The first figure I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at here is one I've had in my collection for quite some time. It is the X-Men 2 X-Men United Superposable Wolverine figure released by Toy Biz in 2003. Really what I think is a great representation of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine from that movie. It's probably the best figure in the line to get a posable Wolverine as well. He did have a display base that allowed him to do a spin kick. I've lost that over the years, but you really didn't want that. I mean, this is the figure you wanted so that you could do all the superposable action scenes, fight choreography scenes that you see in the movies or just want to display on your shelf, when you have a figure like this and you're a toy collector. Now, as far as the likeness goes to Hugh Jackman, I don't think it's the strongest. He's got kind of a grimace on his face that I think does take away from the look of Hugh Jackman. For that reason, I did actually pick up the Claw Strike Wolverine back in the day as well. I feel like his face is a much more realistic looking Hugh Jackman face than what you get on the Superposable Wolverine. Diamond Select put out a great Hugh Jackman last year, Hugh Jackman Wolverine with the Wolverine movie. I think that's probably the best Wolverine figure available to the market now. But here for 2003, this was pretty good. So let's go ahead and take a look at this figure. It does have several points of articulation. Unfortunately, I don't remember how many exactly, and I've long since lost the box to tell me. But we can go ahead and take a look here and see what the figure does here. He's got his head on a kind of a peg ball joint. It's not a complete ball joint. I've actually tried to do a bit of customizing with it and was surprised that it's more of a mushroom cap. But he does look up about that far. He does look down about that far, not terribly far down. He does have a ball jointed shoulder here which rotates 360 degrees, and it does have a swivel here on the arm. He does have double jointed elbows, so you can get some pretty nice arm poses out of him here. And at the forearm he does have a swivel. He's also got a hinge at the wrist here, so he can flex up and back about that far, which is pretty good for a figure with a hinge joint. There's no actual rotation in the hinge joint. His hands are in a clenched fist, the fingers don't move there. And he's got the same articulation on the other side here. However, this hand is not clenched, it is open to hold, I suppose, an accessory. This particular Wolverine did not come with an accessory to hold. Wolverine has also got here a twist at the waist, but he does not have any sort of ab crunch. So if you want to bend this guy over, you're going to have to do it from the hips. And on the hips here, he does have pretty much a standard hip joint for the Toy Biz figures at the time. I don't remember what the exact name of that sort of joint is called. He does have an upper leg swivel here, which rotates 360 degrees. He does have a double jointed knee. He does have a swivel here at the shin, boot cut there. And he does have some foot articulation. His foot does go forward a little bit, does go back much better and stay in place. He's got toe articulation, and he does actually have an ankle pivot. Not like what we see now with the Marvel Legends figures, but still pretty good for 2003. So this was really a great posable Wolverine, and I was very happy to get this one when I did, and I've been posing him for years on my shelf in different positions with different characters. Aside from the lack of Hugh Jackman in the face, my only other real complaint about this figure is that he is missing the belt buckle that all the X-Men uniforms have. You can see here with the Claw Strike Wolverine, he does have the belt buckle insignia there. For some reason they just left it off of the Superposable Wolverine, and that may be because his actual jacket here is almost kind of a pliable rubbery plastic versus the hard plastic here that we get on the Claw Strike Wolverine. But still worth noting that it is missing there. Okay, and here for size comparison, we do have the X2 movie Wolverine next to the Series 7 brown and yellow Wolverine from Marvel Legends, released around the same time as this Wolverine here on the left, and also the costume that inspired the particular color scheme for this Wolverine. You might remember in the first X-Men film, Wolverine's costume was black with yellow piping on it, and in X-Men 2 and 3 they changed it to where it was more of that orange piping, sort of reminiscent of the brown and yellow Wolverine costume. That's a real fan favorite. And here we have Wolverine standing next to the X2 Cyclops and the X2 Nightcrawler, as well as the X-Men 3 Colossus that was released through the Marvel Legends line when Hasbro first took over. Okay, so that is my review of the X2 Superposable Wolverine figure from Toy Biz 2003 and X-Men X2 United. He was pretty easy to get a hold of back in 2003, and he still is today. On the aftermarket, he's going for about $15 or $20. Not too bad for a figure this old with this much posability, and really probably the quintessential 6-inch movie figure for a Wolverine. If you liked my video, please feel free to comment below, share, subscribe. Message me on Twitter at D21Beast. I really appreciate you guys watching and hope to see you next time. Have a good one.